The strongest muscle in your body isn't your biceps. It's your mind. Seriously, let that sink in for a moment. People spend hours in the gym building their bodies, carving their physique, pushing their limits physically. But almost no one spends that same time building the thing that controls everything else: the mind. Your body can be strong, but if your mind is weak, you will break the moment life tests you. But if your mind is strong, you become unstoppable. This is a video about discipline, not the boring, strict idea people have, but the real meaning behind it. Discipline is how you reprogram your mind. Discipline is how you build mental strength. Discipline is how you become someone you're proud of. And the crazy thing is, most people don't even realize how powerful their mind can become. They don't know that every disciplined decision literally rewires the brain. Every time you push through resistance, every time you show up when you don't feel like it, every time you follow through on a promise you made to yourself, your mind grows stronger. But let's start at the beginning. The truth is, your mind has been programmed your entire life by your parents, your environment, your fears, your failures, your habits, your dopamine, your past. And if you never take control of that programming, you end up living on autopilot. You end up doing what's easy, not what's right. You end up choosing comfort instead of growth. You end up becoming the weaker version of yourself, even if the stronger version is buried right beneath the surface. And here's the part people don't want to hear. If you don't train your mind, life will train it for you. And life isn't gentle. So today is the day you start taking your power back. You can reprogram your mind. You can rebuild your discipline. You can become mentally unbreakable. But you need to understand how. And that starts with one simple truth. Discipline is not punishment. Discipline is self-respect. Waking up early to chase your dreams. That's self-love, my friend. When you choose to read instead of scrolling endlessly. That's what self-respect looks like. When you say no to things that waste your time. That's self-respect. When you show up, even on your worst days. That's self-respect. When you do the hard things because you know they shape you. That's self-respect. Discipline is nothing more than proving to yourself, over and over again, that you are worth the effort. But let's talk about how discipline actually rewires your brain, in the simplest terms possible. Your brain loves comfort. Your brain hates effort. Your brain will always pick the easiest option, unless you teach it otherwise. Think about it. When you hit the snooze button every morning, your brain learns that avoidance feels good. When you skip your workout because you don't feel like it, your brain learns that excuses are allowed. When you waste your evenings on Netflix instead of working on your dreams, your brain learns that pleasure beats purpose. And this becomes your identity. But here's the twist. The mind is incredibly flexible. It can change. It can evolve. It can become your greatest weapon if you learn how to control it. Neuroscience proves something life-changing. When you consistently push yourself, even in tiny ways, the brain adapts. It gets stronger. It becomes more disciplined. It builds neural pathways where effort becomes normal, not painful. Challenge becomes exciting, not terrifying. Hard work becomes a habit, not a burden. That's why disciplined people seem like they have superhuman mental strength. But it's not natural. It's trained. It's built through repetition. It's forged in discomfort. Imagine two versions of you. One who gives in to impulses. One who controls impulses. One who lives moment to moment. One who lives with purpose. One who follows emotions. One who follows decisions. Which one do you think wins in life? The second one, every time. Because discipline turns your mind into a leader, not a follower. No. But you know the biggest lie you've been told. That discipline is about being motivated. That you need to feel ready. That you need the perfect moment. The perfect energy. The perfect plan. No. Discipline is doing what you need to do, especially when you don't feel like it. Motivation is a spark. Discipline is the fire. Motivation gets you started. Discipline keeps you going. Motivation is a feeling. Discipline is a skill. And skills can be trained. So let's talk about how you actually reprogram your mind, step by step. The first step is awareness. You must realize that your entire life is shaped by your habits. And habits start in your mind. If your mind is cluttered, you will live a cluttered life. If your mind is weak, you will live a weak life. If your mind is disciplined, your life will be disciplined. But awareness is only the beginning. The next step is repetition. You don't become disciplined by doing something once. You become disciplined by doing it until your mind accepts it as normal. Consistency is what rewires your brain. Wake up early once, nothing happens. Wake up early 30 days in a row, your brain accepts it. Go to the gym once, nothing happens. Go for 30 days, it becomes who you are. Read one page, anyone can do that. Read every day, you become someone different. Repetition is how discipline becomes identity. Identity is how discipline becomes effortless. But here is where most people fail. They think discipline requires big changes. No, it requires small, repeatable changes done over and over. The mind learns best in small doses. If you try to change everything at once, your brain fights back. If you change 1% every day, your brain adapts easily. Start with discipline in one area. Master it. Expand. Repeat. That's how mental strength grows. But discipline also requires something deeper, something hidden. It requires breaking your emotional patterns. Your emotions are powerful. They tell you to quit when things get hard. They tell you to rest when you need to push. They tell you to retreat when challenges appear. They tell you to avoid discomfort. But emotions lie. Your emotions are temporary. Your decisions are permanent. Strong people don't ignore their emotions, they control them. They feel fear, but move anyway. They feel doubt, but show up anyway. They feel tired, but finish anyway. Every time you override an emotion with discipline, your brain changes. You become stronger. You build mental endurance. You reshape your personality. And soon, the things that used to break you no longer even bother you. You become what most people fear. Someone who doesn't rely on motivation. Someone who doesn't rely on feelings. Someone who is driven by commitment. Someone who is mentally unshakable. Imagine waking up and knowing, truly knowing, that no matter what the day throws at you, you can handle it. Imagine becoming the type of person who keeps promises to yourself. Imagine building a life where your actions match your ambitions. Imagine becoming someone you respect. That is what discipline gives you. But let's talk about the part people never mention. Discipline isn't supposed to feel good at first. Discipline is uncomfortable. Discipline hurts. Discipline requires sacrifice. But the pain of discipline is nothing compared to the pain of regret. Most people quit because they think discomfort means they're doing something wrong. No, discomfort means you're doing something right. You're growing, you're stretching, you're changing. Discomfort is a sign of transformation. Your mind doesn't grow in comfort. It grows in resistance, just like a muscle. If you go to the gym and only lift the weights that feel easy, you never grow. If you live life only doing what feels easy, you never grow. Life gives you two choices: easy now, hard later, or hard now, easy later. And discipline is choosing the second option every single time. But here's the important part. Discipline is not about perfection. It's about direction. You will fall off sometimes. You will break routines. You will make mistakes. You will have bad days. But discipline isn't lost in one bad day. It's lost when you stop trying. A disciplined mind always gets back up. Always, no matter what. Because discipline is not about being perfect. It's about being consistent. The mind you want, the strong, focused, unstoppable mind, comes from one thing: doing the right thing, again and again. But let's go even deeper. Your mind is shaped by what you feed it. Not just food, information, environment, people, habits. If you surround yourself with negativity, your mind becomes weak. If you constantly seek cheap dopamine, your mind becomes lazy. If you give your attention to distractions, your mind becomes unfocused. But if you feed your mind discipline, your life transforms. The world becomes sharper. Your goals become clearer. Your confidence grows. Your fears shrink. Your habits strengthen. Your identity evolves. You start thinking differently. You start believing differently. You start acting differently. You stop being the victim of your mind, and you become the master of it. And you understand something powerful. The life you want requires the mind you don't have yet. But you can build it. You can shape it. You can program it. And discipline is the code. So here's the truth. Discipline is not about controlling your life. It's about controlling your mind. And once you control your mind, everything else becomes easy. Waking up early becomes automatic. Working out becomes normal. Studying becomes expected. Hard work becomes natural. Commitment becomes effortless. Focus becomes second nature. Confidence becomes unshakable. You stop negotiating with yourself. You stop seeking shortcuts. You stop waiting for motivation. You stop living for comfort. Your mind becomes yours, not society's, not your past's, not your fears, not your emotions, yours. So, let me ask you something. Where could your life be 1 year from now if you disciplined your mind every single day? Where could your confidence be? Where could your career be? Where could your health be? Where could your income be? Where could your relationships be? Where could you be? 1 year of discipline could put you ahead of 99% of people. 1 year of discipline could change everything. 1 year of discipline could create a different destiny. But that year starts with one day. Today. One choice. One decision. One disciplined action. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Not when you feel ready. Now your mind is waiting. Your future is waiting. Your potential is waiting. Discipline is the bridge. So choose it. Build it. Live it. Reprogram your mind. Rebuild your strength. Become unstoppable. Because the most powerful muscle in your body is not your biceps. It's your mind. And it's time to make it stronger than ever.